I saw the smoke from the north field at 2 in the afternoon, which was when I was moving the last of the cattle to the east pasture and had a clear line of sight south to the marsh property. It was not a lot of smoke. It was the low gray drift of a controlled burn that has encountered a complication, not the black column of a structural fire, not the rolling thick smoke of something that has gotten entirely away from someone. Just the specific low drift of a fire that is larger than it was intended to be and is being managed at the edge of larger. I knew the difference. I had been in this county my whole life, and I knew what each kind of smoke meant. I drove the cattle the rest of the way to the east pasture and closed the gate and got in the truck. The marsh property was a quarter-mile south on the county road, a 140-acre parcel that had been Leonard Marsh's operation for 20 years and that had been Leonard's niece's operation since April, when Leonard died and left it to her, and she arrived from Enid in a car that was not well suited to the county road and moved in over a weekend and has been there since. Her name was Sadie. I knew this from the county records and from Ed Pruitt at the feed store, who knew everything about everyone in Garfield County before they knew it themselves. I had spoken to her twice, both times brief, both times at the fence line where our property shared a quarter-mile of wire, both times about the practical business of adjacent farms, the wire condition, and the road drainage. Both times she had been direct and practical and had not required more conversation than the business needed, which I had found efficient. I pulled into the marsh property at 2:15. The fire was on the east section, which I could see from the gate, a blackened section of brush and dry grass maybe 40 yards across, the edges still smoking, the fire itself reduced to a line at the far edge that was moving slowly east in the August dry. She was at the fire line with a shovel and 2 buckets, working the left side of the line, which was the side the wind was pushing it from, and she was losing ground. Not dramatically, but the line was moving, and she was moving with it, and the bucket water was not stopping it, and the shovel work was slowing it, but not stopping it. I got the spare shovel from the truck bed and the emergency water container I kept there, and I went to the right side of the fire line. She heard me and looked up from the left side, and her dark green eyes found me across the fire line with the quick assessment she apparently gave to everything. She had the red bandana around her neck pulled up over her nose, and the dark auburn hair in the work knot with half of it escaped, and the blue work shirt dark with sweat at the back and shoulders, and she was covered in ash from the knees down. She did not say anything. She went back to the shovel. I went to the right side and started. The fire was not large, but it was active. The August grass dry enough that the edges caught fast and held, and the wind doing the thing Oklahoma wind does in August, which is to be present and unhelpful. I worked the right side with the shovel, cutting the fuel line ahead of the fire, which is the right technique. You remove what the fire is going to eat rather than trying to fight the fire directly, and the emergency water on the sections that were actively burning. Sadie was doing the same thing on the left side, which told me she had figured out the technique on her own or had known it coming in. We worked for 40 minutes. The fire line stopped advancing at the 3 o'clock mark. By 3:30, we had the edges cold, the shovel work confirming no heat below the surface of the turned soil. The smoke was the light gray of a fire that has gone out, rather than the thick gray of one that is still going somewhere underground. I stuck the shovel in the dirt and straightened up. She stuck her shovel in the dirt and straightened up on the other side of the burned section and looked at it with the dark green eyes and then at me. "I had it under control," she said. "I know," I said. She looked at the burned section. It was about 60 yards across now, larger than it had been when I arrived, the extra 20 yards that had gotten away from her before I got there. "The wind shifted," she said. "It does that," I said. "I was watching it," she said. "I know," I said. "It doesn't matter." She looked at me. "I wasn't going to let it get to the barn," she said. "I know that too," I said. She looked at the burned section again, at the blackened grass and the turned soil at the edges, and the sky above it doing the August thing, the flat white blue of a dry year sky that has not delivered rain in 11 weeks. Then she sat down on the ground at the edge of the burned section. I looked at her sitting on the ground. I sat down too.
We sat on the August Oklahoma ground at the edge of the burned section with our backs against nothing and our legs out in front of us, and the smoke smell around us and the afternoon doing its thing, and neither of us said anything for a while. 4 months, she said. It was not directed at me specifically, just the number released into the afternoon. Yes, I said. I've been here 4 months, she said. I've learned a lot in 4 months. The wheat rotation and the cattle water and the fence wire and the windmill and the... She stopped. And I almost burned the east section today. You burned 40 yards of dry brush and grass, I said. That's not almost burning the east section. It was heading for the east section, she said. It was heading for the east section, I said. It didn't get there. She looked at her hands, at the ash on them and the blisters starting on the right palm from the shovel handle. Read, she said. Yes, I said. Why did you come over? She said. I saw the smoke, I said. You could have watched it from your field, she said. Seen it wasn't a barn fire and gone back to your cattle. Yes, I said. Why didn't you? She said. I thought about the honest answer. The honest answer was that I had seen the smoke and known it was a brush fire that had gotten larger than intended, and had known, without examining the knowing, that the person on the marsh property had been there 4 months and had been learning what the farm needed, and was doing it mostly by herself, and that a brush fire that has gotten larger than intended on a dry August afternoon is a specific kind of thing that is better with 2 people than with 1. That was the honest answer. Because 2 people is better than 1 for a fire that's getting away, I said. She looked at the burned section. That's practical, she said. Yes, I said. Is that all it is? She said. I looked at her. She was looking at the burned section, not at me, which made the question easier to receive and harder to answer at the same time. No, I said. She was quiet. The August afternoon held us both in the particular way August afternoons hold people who have been doing hard work and have stopped. The heat and the stillness and the smell of smoke and dry grass and the specific exhaustion of a body that has been working at full capacity and has now been given permission to stop. Tell me the rest of it, she said. I looked at the sky, at the burned section, at Sadie sitting beside me on the Oklahoma ground with ash on her hands, and the bandana loose around her neck now, and the green eyes that had been finding me across the fire line at 2:15 and had been doing the quick assessment they always did. I've known you were on the marsh property since April, I said. I've driven past this property every day since April on the way to the south field. I've seen you in the wheat acreage and at the fence line and at the windmill when it was giving you trouble in June. I've seen you figure out the windmill. I paused. I didn't come over to help with the windmill. No, she said. I didn't come over, I said, because coming over requires a reason and I didn't have one. I had things I had noticed, but that's not the same as a reason. She was quiet. And today you had a reason, she said. Today I had smoke, I said. Smoke is a reason anybody can use. She looked at me, the green eyes with the direct quality. You use the smoke, she said. Yes, I said. She was quiet for a moment. Then, what did you notice from the road? I thought about what to say. The truth was that I had noticed everything. The specific way she moved through the property, the systematic way she had been learning it, the evidence of her presence in the choices she had made and in the places where she had made them. But that was more than the afternoon called for. That you were figuring it out, I said. The farm, without a lot of help. I've had some help, she said. Ed Pruitt at the feed store, Clara Henderson on the canning, the county extension agent in May. She looked at the burn section. Not from you. No, I said. Why not? She said.
I didn't have a reason, I said, until today. She looked at me for a long moment. The green eyes and the August afternoon and the ash on her hands and the 40 yards of burned grass between us and the barn. "Reed," she said. "Yes," I said. "That's a very small reason," she said. "A brush fire." "It was the available reason," I said.
She looked at the burned section, at the sky, at her hands. Then the corner of her mouth did something. Not quite the full smile, the predecessor of it, the specific thing that happens at the corner of a mouth when something is either accurate or slightly absurd. "The available reason," she said. "Yes," I said. "What's the reason you would have used if the smoke hadn't been available?" she said. I looked at the dirt between us, at the burned grass and the August Oklahoma afternoon, and Sadie Marsh sitting on the ground beside me at the edge of something that had almost been worse than it was. "I was going to use the fence wire," I said. "There's a section of our shared line on the south quarter that needs attention. I was going to come over about the fence wire." "When?" she said. "I've been meaning to come over about it since June," I said. She looked at me. "Since June," she said. "Yes," I said. "It's August," she said. "I know when it is," I said. She was quiet for a moment. Then she made the sound again, the not quite laugh, the predecessor. "Reed Alderson," she said. "Yes," I said. "You've been meaning to come over about the fence wire since June," she said. "And instead you came over about a brush fire in August." "The fence wire is still there," I said. "It'll need doing." "Yes," she said. "It will." We sat on the August Oklahoma ground, and the afternoon moved around us in the slow way August afternoons move when the heat has taken the urgency out of everything. The burned section smoked lightly at the far edge, the last of it. The sky was the flat white blue of the dry year. Somewhere in the east pasture, one of the marsh cattle was making its opinion known about something. "Sadie," I said. "Yes," she said. 4 months is a long time to learn a farm," I said. "And a short time, both at once." "I know," she said. "Some days I feel like I know what I'm doing. Other days I almost burn the east section." "Most farmers have both kinds of days," I said. "The ratio shifts over time." She looked at the burned section. "In whose favor?" she said. "The knowing days," I said. "Eventually." "How long does eventually take?" she said. "Depends on the farmer," I said. She looked at me, the green eyes with the question still in them. "How long did it take you?" she said. I thought about it. 3 years before I felt like I was ahead of it more than it was ahead of me, I said. 5 years before I felt like I actually knew the land. 5 years, she said. Yes, I said. I've been here 4 months, she said. I know, I said. She was quiet. Will you tell me things? She said. About the farm, the things you know that I don't know yet. She looked at her ash-covered hands. I've been asking at the feed store and from the extension agent, but they know the county in general. You know this specific land. I've been your neighbor for 3 years, I said. I know the Marsh property the way I know everything on this county road. Then tell me, she said, what I should know. I looked at her, at the green eyes and the auburn hair coming out of the work knot, and the ash on her hands and the blisters starting on the right palm. At the Marsh property around us, the burn section, the barn, the wheat field visible through the east fence, the windmill at the north end that she had fixed in June. Come to supper on Thursday, I said. Bring the questions you have. I'll answer what I can. She looked at me. Something shifted in her expression, the quick movement of a woman who has asked for something practical and received something that is also more than practical and is deciding what to do with the more than. Thursday, she said. 6 o'clock, I said. She looked at the burn section, at the sky. I'll need to fix this fence line before I can burn the rest of the brush, she said. The fire got to the south fence wire. I know, I said. I saw it. Can you? She stopped. I was going to ask if you could help me fix it, but that's... She stopped again. That's what? I said. That's asking, she said.
I've been trying not to ask. Why? I said. She looked at her hands. Because asking means I can't do it myself, she said. Asking means you need help with a fence wire, I said. That's what it means. She was quiet. Sadie, I said. Yes, I said. I'll come tomorrow morning, I said, for the fence wire, 6 o'clock. She looked at me. You'll come at 6 in the morning to fix my fence wire, she said. The fence wire is on the property line, I said. It's my fence too. She was quiet for a moment. Then, that's a very practical way to offer to help someone. I'm a practical person, I said.
Are you? She said. The predecessor of the smile again. Mostly, I said. She stood up from the ground. She was not as quick about it as she would have been at 2 in the afternoon, the legs doing the thing legs do after 40 minutes of shovel work, the particular stiffness of muscles that have been used hard and are now being asked to restart. She got up and brushed the ash and dirt from the back of her work trousers and stood and looked at the burned section and then at me still on the ground. You should get up, she said. I know, I said. Your legs too? She said. My legs are fine, I said. I'm enjoying the afternoon. She looked at the flat white-blue August sky, at the burned section, at me. You're sitting on burned Oklahoma ground at 3:30 in August, she said. Enjoying the afternoon. Yes, I said. She sat back down. We sat on the burned ground in the August afternoon, and I thought about smoke and fence wire, and reasons that were available and reasons that weren't, and about a woman who had been on this property for 4 months and had fixed the windmill and was learning the wheat and had almost burned the east section today and had said she had it under control because she did not want to be the woman who didn't. Sadie, I said. Yes, she said. You had it under control, I said. You were losing ground on it, but you were making the right choices. You cut the fuel ahead of the fire. You worked the side the wind was pushing. You would have held it. She was quiet. You don't know that, she said. I watched you for 40 minutes, I said. I know what I saw. She looked at the burned section. The barn was 60 yards away, she said. If it had gotten to the barn, it didn't get to the barn, I said. Because you came, she said. Because you were working the right side, I said. I worked the other side. We got there faster together, but you had the right idea. You were doing the right thing. She was quiet for a long time. The afternoon moved. The smoke thinned. The east pasture cattle had stopped with their opinion. Read, she said. Yes, I said. Thank you, she said, for coming over. The smoke was visible from the north field, I said. I know, she said. That's not why I'm thanking you. I looked at her. No, I said. I know it isn't. She pulled her knees up and rested her arms on them and looked at the horizon, the flat Oklahoma horizon that goes so far in every direction, it eventually makes you feel like the center of something rather than the edge. The August sky and the dried grass and the burned section and the barn that had not caught. Thursday, she said. 6 o'clock, I said. I'll bring the questions, she said. I'll answer what I can, I said. And in the morning, she said. The fence wire. 6 o'clock, I said. She was quiet. Then, you could have come over about the fence wire in June. Yes, I said.
Why didn't you? She said. I looked at the horizon. I was waiting for a reason I could use, I said. And today you had one, she said. Today I had smoke, I said. She stood up again, more easily this time, the legs having sorted themselves out. She picked up her shovel and looked at the burned section one more time, the methodical final assessment of someone who wants to be certain before she walks away. Then she looked at me. Reed Alderson, she said. Sadie Marsh, I said. Next time, she said. You don't need a reason. I looked up at her from the ground.
at the green eyes in the August afternoon light and the auburn hair coming down from the work knot and the ash on her hands and the blister on her palm. "All right," I said. She walked toward the barn. I sat on the August Oklahoma ground for another minute looking at the burned section and the horizon and the sky. Then I got up and got my shovel and the empty water container and walked to the truck. At the gate, I looked back. She was at the barn door looking at the east section from that angle, doing the same final assessment from the barn end that she had done from the burned section end. Thorough and systematic, the way she apparently did everything. She did not look at me. I drove home. In the morning, I was at the Marsh property south fence line at 6 o'clock with the wire and the pliers and the staple gun and the posts for the section the fire had gotten to. She was already there. She had her own wire cutters and her own fencing pliers, and she had assessed the damaged section and had the posts pulled that needed replacing. We worked the fence through the morning. We talked about the fence and the fire and the east section's brush situation and what she was going to do with it now and what the better timing for a controlled burn was in this county and this year, which was the conversation the fence work required, and which was also the beginning of the conversation that Thursday at 6 o'clock was going to continue. At noon, we finished the fence wire. She tested the tension on the last section with her hand, the right amount of give, tight enough, and looked at the repaired line. "Good fence," she said. "Good fence," I said. She put her fencing pliers in her back pocket and looked at me. "Thursday," she said. "Thursday," I said. She walked back toward the house. I loaded the remaining wire into the truck. At the road, I looked back at the Marsh property, the repaired fence line, the burned section visible through the east fence, the barn that had not caught, the wheat field, and the windmill. I had needed a reason in June. I had found one in August. The fence was done. Thursday was coming.